Welcome to our second LinkedIn Live broadcast. I'm here today with Dennis Lindinger, one of our resident Aras experts. And Dennis today is going to show us about how to use Microsoft Teams with Aras Innovator with some tools that the Razorleaf team had developed over the past couple of years. And we will be recording this. This will be available obviously on LinkedIn, and it will be available on our YouTube page as well. So with that, I'm going to hand it over to Dennis.
Thank you, Julianne. As Julianne said, my name is Dennis Lindinger, and I'm going to be talking about not just our Microsoft Teams integration to Aras, but also a couple of other notification options that you might be able to take advantage of in your workflows and in project tasks. So a couple of slides just kind of get everybody kind of give everybody a little bit of roadmap of what we're going to be doing. So I'm going to be covering 3 different notification options. Email, which probably is everybody's most familiar and probably in place in your organization today. I'm going to be demonstrating the Teams message. And then something that doesn't get used very often in Aras is the bell notification in the upper right-hand corner. So everybody is again probably familiar with the email. You know, this is the standard template. Of course, you can customize it, and it may look different in your environment. It may include a link. It may include a bunch of additional information, but this is the out-of-the-box template. I'm going to show the Teams, and then again the bell notification. Most people that I speak with about Aras and that bell notification, they recognize it as being a place where Aras tells them there's been an upgrade or an upgrade available, but it's usually not used very often in the environment. So hopefully this gives you a little bit of exposure to that, and you might be able to take advantage of it. So we're going to start. We're going to jump into the demo, and I am going to start with the email notification. So I am going to just create a new ECO. So I'm going to add this part to an ECO, and I'm going to add it to an Express ECO. So I'm just using the out-of-the-box Express ECO, and I've got a couple of minor changes to it. I've got a couple of methods hooked on some events, and I've got a notification hooked for the email. So I'm just gonna put in my my required data in here. Just to get this ECO started. So we've got that ECO created. And I'm going to go through the sign-offs tab, and I'm going to vote this. So just to get everybody a little bit of background here. Again, this is the standard Express ECO. I'm going to be going planning will demonstrate the email, draft changes will demonstrate the Teams integration, and change review will demonstrate the bell notification. So from the ECO, I'm going to vote to submit planning. And I've got just a small email client on this. I'm on a virtual machine, so I've got a small email client. But again, everybody's mostly going to be familiar with this. Again, a common change that we'll put in here is to put a link to the ECO. So if you don't have that today, and maybe you didn't know you could do it, but let us know, and we can help you with that. That's a pretty straightforward thing to do. So that's the email notification, and of course, that template, that email can include any kind of properties off the ECO, information off the activity, when the activity was created or started, when it's due. It could include information about the affected items that are on this ECO. All of that can be done. It's just out of the box. It's not really there, but again, it's pretty simple to make changes to that email template. So I'm going to vote out of the planning activity now, and this is where we'll see the Teams integration. So I'll do my vote, and then if everything is correct and my Teams is not on Do Not Disturb, that you should see a Teams message pop up in the bottom right-hand corner, and then I'll click on that. So I'm going to do this vote. And again, this is in a VM, so it's got to make a connection to the Teams, our Teams implementation, and it's got to send a message over there. Sometimes we'll move this offline and do it through kind of an asynchronous approach. So there's our Teams message. I'm going to click that and bring this over. So I got my Teams notice. So this is, again, it's just some basic information here about the ECO. This message can be whatever it is, whatever you need it to be. Just like the email, it could include information about the affected items or other information on the ECO itself. And we've included a link here. So if I click that link and drag this screen over here, so it's going to, again, help me for a login. And it's going to take me right to that ECO item, as you would expect, right from Teams. So I could do my next vote here. So that's the Teams integration. And then again, our last one here is going to be our bell notification. And I need to move a couple things around here. So we got our bell. Notice there's nothing on the bell in the upper right-hand corner, no indication. And I'm going to go ahead and vote that. And we're going to go to submit to review. And we're going to give that just a couple of seconds, and we'll see there's our bell notification. It tells us that we've got a new notification. I can click that, and I see that I've been assigned the ECO. I can click that, and so again, it just gives me a little more information. We can make this message be whatever it needs to be. And obviously, if all these are assigned to me, but if it was going to some other user, then of course their bell notification would be, they would have an indication that they have a new notice. We could also configure it so that when they log in the next time, that this window is presented to them, so they could, kind of tell them very kind of in their face that, maybe something is late. So maybe we want to use bell notifications when an activity is late, and we want to configure it so that when they log in, they get this notification at login, so they know that they have some things that are late or behind. All different possibilities. If I just close this window, that notification stays there, so I could use it as a reminder, so that I've got something to do. Once I've taken care of it, I can go to that notification and clear it, and then of course it clears it out of my notification bell. So those are the three options that we use in our implementations for getting notices, getting notifications out. And as I kind of mentioned this before, but you can use them in different cases. A lot of times we'll use email for when an activity has started and you get your notification in email that that you have something assigned to you. And then we could turn on Teams notification when things start to become due. You can kind of escalate that notification to get it out of email and get it into Teams. And then we could, once it's late or due, then we could send a different message through the bell notification. So, and you could use those in any combination. It doesn't have to be in that order at those points, but you don't even have to use all three of them, of course. So whatever, sometimes we get bogged down with email. A lot of times your users will end up writing an Outlook rule that just kind of files these email messages away. So we're just trying to find some ways to get more direct communication to the user for very specific instances, instead of just bombarding them with email messages. So let me just jump back here. So my notes. So there are there's a Razorleaf blog article about bell notifications, and that if you're interested in how to do some more of that, how to take advantage of bell notifications, it's pretty straightforward. We have a really good example on our webpage that that walks you through how to write a method that will create a new notification for you. We kind of put it in the context of a sticky note. So this example, you could run the sticky note application against a part, and maybe to remind you to do something with that part in a particular day and time, and then that notification will ring that notification bell when that time and date happen. So a good kind of hands-on, real example to use the notification bell. The Teams integration that I demonstrated, that's part of the Razorleaf productivity pack, and that's a collection of utilities that that we provide to enhance Aras. And just a couple of words here about each of the pieces that are included in the productivity pack, if you're interested. It includes the out of office, so it's much like Outlook. When you configure your out of office for Outlook, it's similar in that you designate a time and how long you're going to be out of office, and you can also identify who your delegate is going to be. So while you're out of the office, somebody can act on your behalf and vote on things that would appear in your in basket. The another element is the part alternates and substitutes. This is a nice indication. If you're using part alternates and substitutes, it's a nice way to get some indicators in the search grids and in the BOM tab that a part has an alternate or a part BOM has a substitute. Pervasive search is a way to do some searching inside of Innovator without doing wildcards. So you still got the same blue bar. You work in searches just like you do today, except you don't have to type in the wildcards when you're looking for information. They're just implied wildcards. And then we have where used tabs that are specific for parts, documents, and I think we have CAD on the roadmap, but basically a tab on a part that shows you just the other parts that part is used in. So instead of going to the out of the box where used tab, you can kind of get a very nice streamlined view of just the parts that are other parts that use that part that you're looking at. Flexible field level enforcement is a way to do some configuration to say when properties are required on save or workflow activities. So kind of getting some of that out of method code development and putting it into a configuration item for an administrator. We also include package elements, which makes finding your configuration changes for packaging. It really makes that job much easier as opposed to trying to keep track of all your things that you've changed on a notepad or in OneNote or something. And then we also include the Visual Studio integration so that you can do your method development right from inside of Visual Studio with all the IntelliSense that you would expect from the Aras API and of course C# or VB.NET, whatever you're using. So that's kind of just a quick overview of what the productivity pack provides. And that really wraps up what I wanted to show today. So this is a good time for questions, if there's any questions in the audience.
Yeah, so if you have any questions, just put them in the comments box and we will address them as we go. Okay, Angela's question is, will it work for other types of client notifications? Dennis.
So I'm not sure of the question. So maybe the question is, can it be as a replacement for example, lifecycle emails? I'm not exactly sure what the context is. It could definitely be used with project and any workflow items, not just Express ECO. Maybe that's the question. It would work with any change type.
So the clarification is, will bell notifications work for comparable client-side notifications, specifically around a package has finished exporting?
So a Teams integration that says, so you're exporting a package and you want to know when that package is done.
Correct.
I'm sure, I'm not sure of what the event hook is. If it's custom code that's doing the export, or if you're using the out-of-the-box export. But if it's the out-of-the-box export, I don't think there's any hook there for that. But if you're doing something custom, it's kind of your own export, then certainly you could call the Teams integration from that, or the bell notification for that matter.
Okay, great.
If that doesn't answer the question, feel free to follow up with me with the email on the screen. I'd be happy to answer.
Okay. Any other questions before we wrap this up? Looks like we don't have any more questions, so we give thanks everybody for your time today. We will, as I said, put this recording up shortly, and we'll be back to you with another LinkedIn Live in another couple of weeks. Thanks everybody. Have a good afternoon.
Thank you very much.